Hey everybody, another episode of Small Business Talk with Jerry. I'm Jerry, and we are here with Isaiah Syverson today from Syverson Pressure Washing. This is the second podcast for Isaiah. We wanted to touch base after your first year in business. And,
yes.
And you're still in business.
Yes, I am.
All right. Perfect. Isaiah, introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are.
My name's Isaiah Syverson. I'm the owner of Syverson Pressure Washing. I'm also a big mental health advocate, so I post a lot of my story and how I became an entrepreneur to help other people. On my sides, I like to do martial arts and just help out in the community as much as I can.
Awesome. Now, when we talked last, you were, 6-7 months in, something like that?
Yeah,
and,
something like that.
Well,
realistically, we were probably, it was even less than that because the actual work didn't start till March.
Right.
So,
right.
In the business side,
4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And at the time, you were literally just pressure washing.
Literally, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Which in the name makes sense.
Yeah.
But now, I know you've added some things.
Yes.
Tell us what you've expanded on already.
Yeah. So it's been a crazy year. Like I said, looking at it from when I first started to just this idea on paper to now, I was like, oh, we'll do the pressure and soft washing, like the window cleaning, and like your typical exterior restoration. But then we started to grow and more services were needed. And I was like, oh, these kind of fit in. So we ended up doing with winter coming, we're like, oh, ice dam removals is a really big one. It's a big thing that I saw as a contractor, that it's something that can save you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run by just spending a couple thousand now.
Right. And
it's also not a thing that I saw a lot of. And then the other thing I noticed was permanent lighting was a big one that we started doing as well. We have two kinds, North Star trim light, which we use. And that one we guarantee it's a lifetime warranty on the products and a 2-year workmanship warranty.
Okay.
Or the cheaper route is we'll offer Govee lights so people can buy their own and then we'll just install them, but we just don't offer a warranty because we can't warranty another company's product.
Absolutely.
But that's been really popular, and the reason why I did that is because I was looking and I was like, oh, winter's coming. I'm like, I can't really pressure or soft wash because things are going to be frozen. I'm going to winterize my equipment. So I had to adapt and overcome and, okay, how can I make money in the winter to make sure it's long? And that's kind of how we came with the ice dam removals and the permanent lighting.
Sure.
And we do permanent lighting all year round too.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Great. And so the permanent lighting, I'm assuming that's all LED stuff.
Yeah.
So you can change colors, you can with the season, and you don't have to ever change hardware.
No. And what's really nice too is it's all from your phone. So so what's really nice is a lot of people, I look at things as investments. So I do a lot of work for the realtors here in town.
Sure.
And when I go on a job site, they say, hey, Isaiah, I have this listing. We need pictures taken. It needs to be cleaned. I show up and I figure out how to maximize property value while minimizing cost.
Sure.
So for me, it's an investment on how can we maximize money and effort, right? And so when I look at it, people do traditional Christmas lights, which I love. I love the classics.
Yeah.
It's just when it comes to it, you're maybe paying $1,000 to $2,000 a year for 4 months at most of use, and then you take them down.
Right.
Permanent lighting, you're probably going to pay more to $4,000 to $6,000 for one in-time install, but you'll have them year-round, so you can use them Thanksgiving, Halloween, Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, all special occasions like homecomings.
So you can do the red, white, and blue.
Yes, you can do whatever you want. Whatever's on the color spectrum, you can use. So it's a lot more versatile, and it really just helps your house. It's more appealing when you go to sell it as well. I've got these now, so it's a great selling point.
Okay. That's good. Now, how many have you done?
We've done quite a few,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So it's a pop. How are you getting the word out?
It's just been a lot of word of mouth, actually. The amount of all the marketing that I've done is my social media. So my Facebook and my Instagram, it's _Zay0423, and then it's Syverson Pressure Washing on Instagram, and then Isaiah Syverson on Facebook and Syverson Pressure Washing on Facebook. And we just do a lot of word of mouth. I do a lot of networking events. SBRG has been a big one, Small Business Referral Group. I highly recommend that. They helped me. Yeah, they've helped me a tremendous amount. I can't say that enough. And just really a lot of word of mouth and networking of just actually getting out in front of people and putting myself and making myself known and making an impression.
Sure. Well, you definitely do that. I love your attitude and your energy, and the smart side of your business as far as the approach you take. You got to get something started. Yeah. And then you kind of come into that seasonal. Well, I'm pressure washing in Minnesota. There's a few months out of the year where that's a bad idea. Yeah.
I've already had. It's been my first winter, and I winterized like my 12-volt pump system. I did all that with the antifreeze. I did my actual pressure washer itself. The one thing I forgot to do was, even though there's just and I didn't realize how bad it was, but even just the littlest droplets in my pressure washing hose, when we had that night, it burst. So I have 400 feet of hose. I had 200 feet just burst. Ice everywhere, and I was like, shoot!
Yeah.
So I have to buy that in the springtime, but going forward now, I know when I go to winterize my pressure washer, have the hose connected, pour the antifreeze as it runs through the pressure washer so the entire hose gets it,
so
and that would protect us. Yeah. Sure. So I live and learn, but yeah, that was one of those things I was like, shoot. Yeah. And I don't have indoor storage with my van, so it just sits outside in my driveway. Sure. And so I did all these things. I was like, oh, we're going to take like an indoor space heater, and we're going to put it in there. And I took this bubble wrap insulation that was like reflective as well. I put it all over the inside of my van. No signal could get in or out when I tried to take calls. Yeah. And I was like, okay, we're going to do that. Hopefully we'll put the like heater in there. And it actually stayed like at like 60 degrees, like 55, 60 degrees. Unfortunately, the heater that I had, these like indoor heaters just aren't meant for the really cold weather. No, so like all of a sudden I noticed I'd be like playing, like watching movies or listening to music on my TV. And all of a sudden I'm doing that and it gets really cold and I turn the heater on and a breaker flops. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we had to undo that. I'm like, well, next time then we'll just antifreeze everything. So
Yep. Yeah, start over. But live and learn. That's it. You've got to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And what works safely. Those little heaters, you're lucky it just popped breakers. Because they're not real safe either. I mean, that's a consideration.
Yeah. And then actually, I forgot one more service. We also thaw pipes. Oh. So especially for like manufactured homes, mobile homes, or just houses in general with crawl spaces or anything. In the winter, when pipes freeze, we actually will thaw the pipes for people. And then come springtime, if they want us to come back, we'll re-insulate everything. Okay.
So. What's your website?
It is. We mostly use Facebook. That's our big one. Is Facebook. So Syverson pressure washing.
Okay. Awesome. So now with the new services, a lot of new equipment that you had to pick up, or most of that fell
Not
through?
really.
Really kind of. You're able to. I mean, the ladders and whatnot. You already needed that from before. So to get up in the heights and. Yeah,
there was really no extra cost that I had to occur to do these services. Besides the ice dam removal, we use a Arctic steamer. So it's a low pressure steamer. We hook it up. We take a clean hose. We'll hook it up to the steamer. We'll bring the hose inside to the house and hook it up to a faucet of some type. Run the water, and then that steams it. And then we'll get on a ladder, and we get either on the ladder or on the roof, and we'll sit there and we just chop away at the ice until it's gone. And that was like probably about a $9,000 to $10,000 machine.
Sure.
So that was probably the biggest expense incurred from that.
Learning curve on it?
Kind of, not too bad. Okay. Watching a lot of videos has helped and like some hands-on stuff. It's the same as like when you pressure wash a house. We don't use hard pressure, but say you were to, right? I don't recommend that. Yeah. But say if you were to, or like concrete, right? You don't want to get too close because you're going to etch it. It's the same with the ice dams. You want to make sure you have that sweet spot. Like when we're pressure washing wood, right? We don't want to be too close because it's going to fray the wood. Right. We don't want to be too far because it's not going to clean it enough. It's the same with the ice dam. So it wasn't too bad of a learning curve.
Okay. Yeah, and then, so now do you work with any, like say when you're not going to get to every ice dam in time.
No.
I mean, some people are going to call when it's too late. So do you have any like restoration companies that you work with that help clean up the mess when it's gone too far?
Yeah, I highly recommend ServPro. Okay. They have done amazing.
Ryan Laud and his guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I work with Nathan. Okay. I've worked with him a lot. He's their business guy. And I love ServPro. The stuff that they do is amazing, and all the work they do is spot on. And they care about their customers, which is a big thing because that's what I founded my business on was customer satisfaction, customer care, and ServPro does exactly what I would want in a referral for that.
That's the big thing about any kind of referral of business. It's not you doing it, but it's your name on it. Once you when you tell them call Nathan or Ryan or whoever at ServPro, if they come in and screw things up, that's on you. Yeah, it really
like, is. I trusted you. I trusted you to make this right. I trusted you this, and now it's almost like you did it.
Yeah. Now, more importantly, my client trusted me.
Yes.
And they trust my opinion. And when I give them a referral, when I tell them you're the guy or you're the company, they don't question that.
Yeah.
And now they will.
Yes.
Now they've questioned
Yes.
my reputation.
And that's a big
So,
thing.
it
And
is.
as a business owner, especially trying to get started, and I think this goes for anything in general, all you have is like your word. And if
Right.
people ever doubt that, judge your character, doubt or second guess anything, it's really hard to get that back.
Well, and the thing that a lot of people don't realize, I mean, we all have our political beliefs. We have
Yep.
our religious beliefs. We have our moral beliefs,
Yeah.
right? You have that moral compass. And all of those things. Now, my political beliefs really have nothing to do with my business.
Yeah.
But if I stand on my podium and I'm screaming for one side or the other,
Yeah.
that is going to alienate people.
100%.
I mean, religion. There's just so many things that you just it's like Christmas dinner.
Yeah, I was
You
going to
know,
say
you-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you just it's like those things you choose to talk about and those things you choose to
not.
avoid.
Yes.
Right. And in business, when people question you, even like I say, politics, religion.
Yeah.
I don't know what your religion is, and I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. We don't have to talk about that. But my point being, whatever you believe in, that's your belief.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if it's different than mine, and I am, on my podium,
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden, well, boy, I don't know that I trust him, or I don't know
Yes.
that I want to deal with him.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I don't want that influence. And so you really have to be careful because there are, and I'm just going to say it out loud, there's a lot of weak-minded people out there
Yeah.
that will allow those things
Yeah.
to get in the way of getting the best service.
Yep. Yep.
And
yeah.
that's sad, but
Yeah.
that's the world we live in, and you really have to be aware of that.
100%.
So yeah, you've got to be careful not to wear your political affiliation, your religion, your beliefs on your sleeve.
Yes.
In a lot of cases,
100%. And that's a big thing too that I've noticed is like I like with just not my business, like I've said before, like my business is a stepping stone. I really want to own like my first investment property by the time I'm 26. That's
Sure.
like a big thing. And what I really want to do is I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to inspire people and really like travel and tell my story to people and hopefully like they feel inspired to do something. And I've noticed with like there's so much negative going on right now.
Oh yeah.
And not to get into it, but it's just so much negative going on. And I like my place when people come to my page, when people look, it's a breath of fresh air.
Sure.
Where it's motivational. It's like, oh, I'm having a down day. Let's see what has Isaiah posted. And I've noticed since I've been doing this for the past like year, my following has gone up a lot. And I get messages every day of, hey, like I'm struggling with like this family thing, or hey, I'm struggling with like mental health, or whatever it may be. And I've been able to help people that felt like they had nowhere to go and they felt comfortable enough to talk to me. And some of these people I've never met in person before.
That's great.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
just one of
great.
those things where I don't want to be up on my podium
Right.
because then these people who feel like they have no one to go to, they're not going to be like, they're going to be like, oh, well, I don't feel safe or trust him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so yeah, big on
Well,
that.
and of course, and social media, I'm glad that you're using it for a positive.
Yeah.
Because to me, social media can be such a negative. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
we've got lots of things going on right now. And, everything that happens, there's two sides to every story.
Yes.
And it always seems, it doesn't seem, it is, both sides of that story blow their positive or their negative
Yes.
completely out of proportion.
100%.
And then on social media, all these keyboard warriors are so quick to just, be absolutely disgustingly rude
To people.
to other people.
Yeah.
And, and my question is, are you really that big of a jerk? Would you say that to my face?
Yeah.
Would you, if you and I were here having a conversation and I gave my opinion on that,
Yeah.
that last headline
Yeah.
that was in the news. And, you watch Fox, you get one sensational headline. You watch CNN, you get a completely different
Yeah.
sensational headline.
Yep.
Same story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Same story.
Yeah.
But one, it's like, this, and it's not, when I was a kid, my dad was a Democrat. And I would say in the day, I would call him a diehard Democrat.
Yeah.
Well, now if you say that, it turns into liberal, and there's all these other words
Negative connotations.
huge negative connotations. Now, our neighbor across the street was, again, in that day, we're talking 70s. I was born in 71.
Yeah.
So black and white TVs. Right? We still got to go to the bathroom inside, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
And, again, by that standard of the day, the neighbor across the street, pretty diehard Republican.
Yeah.
And my dad and him would get into such great conversations about politics.
Yes.
And now if you have a diehard Republican, it's like you've got some crazy right winger, and you've got some some crazy bleeding heart liberal, and it's all these negative names that we have to put on it.
Just name call.
It is, but the sad part is, most of your Republicans and Democrats, conservatives, liberals, when they talk, it's not polite. It's not in-depth conversation.
No.
That's where I prefer to be. Whether
Yes.
you and I agree or disagree,
Yes.
we can still have great dialogue.
100%.
Or we could call each other names.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does that solve?
Yeah.
And the sad part is, every day when I ask that question, 5 years ago you asked the question, would you say that to my face?
Yeah.
And literally 90% of the time it would be, well, no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is going away. I mean, sadly, now you say that, it's like, you damn right I would. It's like, really?
It's
You'd
sad.
be that big a jerk
Yeah.
to me because we have we see the same situation through a different lens?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like my thing is, like, so my grandpa, he's 85.
Okay.
And so he's diehard Democrat, but then he has one of his best friends that did trucking together. He's a diehard Republican. Seeing these two like talk and bicker, it's the same thing with like your dad. They can obviously it's that older, so like they'll like yell, they'll make fun of each other in that playful way. But at the end of the day, they know that he believes one thing, he believes the other. They come together on common ground and be like, hey. But at the end of the day, they respect each other.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of it ends, is there's just no respect for each other as humans.
Right.
Like for me, I look at it where I have friends on both sides.
Yep.
And for me, it's like, it's one of those things on Christmas. I just prefer not to talk about it, right?
Right.
Especially
Right.
in this day and age, people just are more wanting to hear you say, oh, what's the quote? It's listening to respond.
Yeah.
Or they want to just try to change your mind
Yep.
instead of just trying to educate. And it's so negative. Like I see all the times, like on Facebook and all that, and you're right. It's just no matter what, people are just attacking each other
Right.
in the comment sections, calling the most outrageous names that I never would even be like, Jesus,
Yeah, right.
And
but again, you're like, I wouldn't say that. I don't know you.
Yeah.
I would never say that to you.
yeah,
It's like, what is going on?
yeah,
And so, yeah, we're in a sad place.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are. Because,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't have to like you to respect you.
no,
And that's, like and respect,
two different.
two completely different
Yes,
things.
100%.
Completely different
And
things.
and people don't understand that. And like I said, with that negative, that's why I really, and like I've gotten some backlash about people being like, with like everything going on, like me not like posting anything on it, and I stay firm on my neutral stance because I'm like, everyone else, again, it's so negative. I want my place to be a breath of fresh air so people can feel inspired and motivated, and you can start to, it's the thing of be the change you want to see in the world.
Right.
And mine is, I want to help people. I want them to feel motivated, inspired. I want them to go through my videos that we post and be like, oh, wow, like, I feel a lot better. Like, I've had friends who own businesses themselves, and they've been in lulls. And they're like, oh, I was scrolling through and I watched some of your videos, like even some of the podcasts that we've done, and from a year ago or whatever, and they were like, those actually like really helped me. And that's what fills my cup.
Right.
That fills my cup entirely.
And that's, to be right up front about it, Small Business Talk with Jerry, we're on 5 platforms.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. We're on
Yep.
5 platforms. Right?
No shameless plug here. Great podcast.
But I mean, we have YouTube for video.
Yep.
Then we have Spotify. Make sure I get these right. I have Spotify. We're on Amazon. We're on
Apple.
and then we're also on Amazon. What am I missing?
Is it Pandora?
No, we're not on Pandora. Spotify.
Oh, no.
Spotify. So that's our 5 platforms. Now, if we had started this podcast to try and monetize it, I would have picked one platform, probably Spotify. It's the biggest one, and you try to hammer as many followers as you can on that one to get to the point that it can monetize,
and then
branch out. We just started with 5. My goal is I want everybody to be able to see it.
Yes.
I want access, because you've got let's face it, even if you can afford all of them, or you're good, but once you're an Amazon person, you're an Amazon person. Once you're a Spotify person,
I'm a Spotify guy.
Right.
I die since I was young.
And most people are that way. Once they pick a platform, that's what they listen to, or that's what they, So I want to make sure everybody had the ability to see this.
Which I love.
Well, and for me, it's not about if we get enough followers and we monetize this at some point, awesome. Yeah. That's not the goal. The goal for Small Business Talk with Jerry is to help entrepreneurs
Yeah.
and wannabe, more so for me, the wannabe entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
right? Where Isaiah was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
When you have that, and you know, there's no shame. I'm gonna say you were terrified. I don't know that you.
Oh
were,
yeah, no, I
but I'm
was
gonna
so
say
nervous.
that.
Yeah, when I walked in, my first thing was, I was like, I've never been on these. Like, what if he tries to make me look dumb, like a fool of myself? Like, I was so nervous, and like people told me, like, in the videos they watch it, they're like, when you first started, you were very like tense, and then like as you got more comfortable, and yeah, no, it was I was terrified.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, but you know, the goal is obviously so. I've said this in a couple other podcasts, so if you've already heard this, I apologize for being redundant. But you know, like of course, I'll date myself here. You know, I used to watch Friends.
I love
Right?
that show.
Yeah. Okay.
that
So,
show.
and you know, you feel like you know Joey and Phoebe, and
Yes.
you know Ross. You
Yes.
feel like you know that person.
Yes.
Then you see them on. I do it myself. I tell everybody don't touch that. I do it myself every time. Anyway, then you see you'll see one of them on a talk show.
Yes.
And now it's not the character. You don't see Ross anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you see the actor.
Yeah.
And you see the person, and it's not the same
No.
person, right? I mean, they're acting.
Yeah.
And so not that you and I are going to go have lunch with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kevin Costner is not John Dutton.
No.
Right.
No.
So he's not calling me to see if what I'm doing this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about that. But we're talking about a local podcast.
Yeah.
Local business owner.
Yep.
Right. So Isaiah Syverson is here. What people see.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yes.
This is Isaiah. This
Yeah.
isn't Isaiah playing a part.
Yeah.
And now let's fast forward. Okay, Kevin Costner again. He didn't call me this afternoon. Didn't want to know what I was up to.
What a
So
guy.
I'm not,
Yeah, he should have.
Right. So apparently we're not going to hang out. We're not going to become friends.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Syverson, you're here in my house. You're in my podcast studio.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to go grab some dinner after this, we want to catch lunch Tuesday. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just, and you want folks to hire you.
Yes.
To hire you, they have to email you, call you, text you,
Yep.
message you, something.
Yes.
Right. So when they do that, if they feel like they get to know you through this podcast, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
do. This is who you are.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of I want to make sure that people feel comfortable
Yes.
coming in here. And the more of these we do, the more people we have like yourself now that can go, he's really not going to try and embarrass you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we'll have fun,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have fun, we'll joke around, but this is no shock jock. This isn't a gotcha.
No.
I'm going to try and boost my ratings by
Yeah.
making you look like a fool.
Yeah.
I mean, and sadly, it's easy to do typically because people are nervous when they come on.
100%.
So
Oh, God,
no
I'm
matter
so
how
nervous.
no matter how good a person you are,
Yeah.
it's easy to make you look silly
Yes.
when you're that nervous.
100%.
So we work hard to make sure
Yeah.
that we do things right.
Yes.
And we just want that. And for me, like going back to let's say a year and a half ago, right
Yes.
before Syverson pressure washing
Yeah.
was up and running.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say you were probably terrified then too.
100%.
Because you don't know, you can't know what you don't know. And so what I want Small Business Talk with Jerry, what I want you to help me with
Yeah. Of
today.
course. Yes.
And every time we do this is I want those terrified people, and sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes they're not terrified, and they should be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm ready to whoop the world,
Yeah.
and I'm going to invest my life savings into this pressure washing business
Yes.
when they don't know anything about pressure washing. Or they
It's-
don't know the market.
yeah.
They haven't done any of the research.
Yes.
And what I want from all of my guests is to share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
So that, for me, I've said this so many times, and it's a little vulgar, but it's who I am. I don't give two shits if you start a business or you don't.
Yep.
But if you're thinking about starting it and you watch this podcast and you're on the fence and it tips your scale one way or the other.
Yep.
I don't care
Yeah.
if you do or don't. I'm not going to be proud of you that you do. I'm not going to be sad or
you don't.
disapprove you don't. I want to help you make a good decision for
Yeah.
you.
100%.
And if you watch this and go, wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I didn't
Yeah.
think about this. I hadn't considered that. I couldn't know this. I haven't
Yep.
been through it. And all of a sudden it makes you go, yeah, that's great. Now that I know that, I can move forward.
Yeah.
Or, holy crap, that is scary. I'm just going to keep my job. I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep punching the clock. There's no shame in having a
No.
job. Never apologize for having a job.
No, never.
So that's what I want from Small Business Talk with Jerry. And,
Yeah.
and if I try to be greedy and monetize this and squeeze every nickel and a bit of I don't know if fame is a bad word, but
I know what you mean.
exposure.
Yeah, exposure. Exposure, yeah.
If I try to squeeze every nickel and ounce of exposure out of this possible, that means I'm going to have to stream it to one platform. I'm going to push, and you're going to get sensationalized.
Yep.
You're not given real information, I don't
Yep.
think. You're going to look for what gets the splash.
Yes.
And then, like I say, then you streamline it down to one platform to try and get some money out
Yep.
of it. I want this out there. I want it available for people,
Yes.
and I want good people like you here to help me spread that message. So
Yeah.
same thing. It's not necessarily maybe a mental health thing, or I hope it doesn't turn into a mental health thing,
Yeah.
But I want people to be
Yeah.
comfortable watching us going, let's see what Isaiah's up to. Let's see
Yeah.
what did he go through,
Yeah.
And I love the fact that most everybody has shared. Like last time I asked, I asked a question, which I won't bug you with this time, about an embarrassing story or a tough story, something.
Got more of those if you do want them.
I was just going to, my favorite stories. My favorite stories are the ones, and we're going to do more podcasts in the future.
100%. Yeah.
So as you get a little more experience in your belt, not that you're inexperienced,
I know what you mean.
but you know what I mean.
I've been a year. I'm 24. I've got so much room to grow, and I'm not stopping here. I mean, the ceiling's endless. You can never learn enough. You can never stop growing.
Right. And what I want to do, my favorite topic is give me a story of a situation where you went into it confident as you've ever been. This is a winner, and now you look back at it going, what was I thinking? Because we've all got them.
We've all got them.
If you're doing anything, you've got them.
Yeah,
that is.
100%.
If you're putting any effort in at all, you've got at least one of those stories, and I've got plenty of those. But that's the things you want to give people, that even though you look back on some of these things now and say, what was I thinking? Mm-hmm. Then the last question is, after you tell what an awful idea it was, how terrible it turned out, or whatever, then the question is like, do you regret it though? Are you sorry that you did it? Because it's still experience, and it makes us who we are, and it makes our businesses what they are.
It makes us who we are. Like, I'm a big believer in, for the longest time, like I said, I talked a little bit about like my upbringing when the last time we were on here, so I won't go back into that. If people want, they can go back and watch the podcast, or they can watch the clips on my Instagram. And so, but how I grew up, I always looked at it as like this poor pity me mindset. Like, oh, if this happened to me, this and that. And now looking forward on it, I wouldn't change a single thing, because it's made me who I am today. It's given me the resilience to do my business. It's made me be able to go through these hard times and shaped who I am today. And if I were to go back and change even just one of those things, I would not be who I am today. Right. And I am so proud of who I am and where I've come from. Absolutely. I mean, like for me, with the 1 year, like we talked about, I interviewed like 30 people. They were business owners, friends, mentors, just kind of telling them about when they first met me to now, which brings me, I never got to interview you because our schedules didn't mix up.
Right.
So from when I was on this podcast last, Jerry, how would you say that I've grown from like when you first met me to now? Well,
again, you've always had that winner mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the enthusiasm and you make other people feel better just being in the room.
I appreciate
that's you can't teach that to someone. If I told you, how do you do that? That's just who you are.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to, I wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't want you to change anything, because I love who you are.
Yeah.
And so, and this is maybe, I don't know if this is answering your question or not, but okay, so I'm old, right? I've seen a lot. I've done a lot.
You're experienced.
I'm experienced. That comes with age, so I'm old.
Trying to help you there, Jerry.
I appreciate it. See, that's what I mean. But I typically don't have the temperament to deal with 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. And when I do deal with 24-year-olds, you either need to be a rock star, or you got to have thick skin. Because I'm going to be hard on you. And I'm not going to be hard on you because I want to be a dick.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hard on you because I'm going to be just honest with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because if I don't like the things you do or the things you say, then sugarcoating it, make you think that that's okay. That doesn't help. Mm-hmm. If I really believe I'm right, I mean, obviously, if I really believe that I could help you be a better person, then, and is it any of my business? Is it my job to make you a better person? It
can be argued. I would say, like, if you, like you said with this podcast, is you want to help people. Like, you could give two shits if someone does their business or not.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if they do, you want to help what's the right decision for them.
Absolutely.
So I would say, honestly, like, I'm the same way. If someone comes to me with something, I want to help them make the best decision.
Help.
Yes.
And so if you're 24, like I said, you better be a rock star or have thick skin.
Yeah.
Or we're probably just not going to get along. Because I just, when you say something dumb, I go, what?
Yeah.
Did you think about that at all before you said it?
Yep.
And that's how I talk. That's the things I say. I mean, you've heard me. That's what I say.
Yeah.
And then and if you don't have thick skin, and you're going to cry,
Yeah.
well then, okay, that's fine, but do it over there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be over here and I'd rather not deal with it.
Yep.
You know, and
Yeah.
and that can be harsh at times, most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah, for a lot of people.
But you know, then I run across an Isaiah Syverson, and it's like, I can't be harsh. If I'm harsh with you, we're joking. I mean, it always ends with a giggle. You know, ends
Yeah,
with a
always.
laugh.
Yeah.
Always. Now, I'm telling you, come at me someday, and don't be you.
Yeah.
Those comments don't change.
Yeah.
What changes is a giggle afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just you give them the comment, the same thing I might say to you, and then we laugh about it
Yeah.
because it's ridiculous. Because
Yeah.
we know that it's not true.
Yes.
It's sarcasm.
Yeah.
But if I really felt that's who you were, that's what
Yeah.
you needed at that moment, I'll say it and just shake
Yeah.
my head when I'm done, like,
Yeah.
well, I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
And then I'll just walk away.
Yep.
And it's like, and you know, there's a fair amount of people that don't respond very well
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
And we don't talk much after that.
Yeah.
And you know, as I get older, my tolerance gets less, but I also my verbiage gets less also.
Yeah.
I don't say it just because I can,
Yeah.
because it's not polite.
Yep.
I mean, you know, but there's times where you kind of look at it going, I don't know if you understand how uncomfortable you make people.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
that's a
Yes,
thing.
that's a real thing.
That's
Like,
a real thing.
there's a few people that like you meet and you're just like the term that gets used a lot is like energy vampires, or people that just drain you. Like they walk into a room, or like you even spend even 10 minutes with them, and like I've had people in my own life that I've had to cut out because they're just so negative. And even though even if they don't say anything negative, just the presence alone, like they can just, it can drain you and make you feel
absolutely.
really bad about yourself.
Absolutely. And at that point, is it my duty to tell them that? No, probably not. Do I do it? Usually. I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah,
usually,
yeah.
but that's, you know, and this is, you know, Heather, I love her to death, and I'll tell her stories, and we'll be, you know, from work or from one of my clients. We have multiple businesses. I deal with clients all the time, deal with vendors all the time, right? Deal with salespeople trying to be a vendor.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her the story, and she's like, "You said that? Like, did you thought it?" And I'm like, "No, I said it." She goes, "You know they're not coming back, right?" I mean, that's how I hear that right before, about half a second before I say something. I hear her voice in my head so many times in a month, a week, you know, of her going, "You know they're not coming back, right?" It's like, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I got that. But that's also part of being who I am.
Yeah.
If you're that guy, and I really don't want to deal with you, I'm just going to be frank about it.
Yeah.
You're either going to take it well as constructive criticism,
Yeah.
and we're going to be able to get along. You're going to make some changes,
Yep.
or you're going to tell me why I'm wrong.
Yep.
We can have a dialogue on it. We can have some discussion.
Yes.
And we always say, like, and again, back to politics, not to talk politics, but
Yep.
it's like, if you believe one thing and I believe another, I can talk to him blue in the face, probably not going to change your mind.
Yep.
Or vice versa.
Yep.
Okay? In business, if that's who you are, you're not very good at it.
No.
And so in business and in politics, I have my idea of, you know, Trump's policies, and I know how I feel about it. And no matter what you say, you're not going to make me think they're better or worse than I think they are right now.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
You know, whether it's good or bad,
Yep.
you're not going to change my mind.
Yep.
Now, in business, I feel like a lot of times I'll joke. I'll get these cold calls.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, we're having this seminar, you know, in your area, blah blah blah," and it's like, "Oh, okay, great. What's it pay?" And they're just like this silence, like, excuse me? Well, the cost of it is, I was like, you know, whatever, $200 or $300 or whatever. I'm like, sure, but what's it pay? I've been doing this for over 30 years in this building, in this business. I've made a good living. I have multiple other businesses. You're not calling me to be in the audience, are you? I mean, you must be, you're looking for a speaker, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, I'm like, okay, well, hey, have a good day. And you know, it's a joke to me.
Yeah.
To them, they just don't know how to respond. It's like, well, there, now you can go ask somebody.
How to overcome this objection.
How do I respond to this arrogant piece of trash that I just talked to on the phone who said he's going to be a presenter?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but it's like, you know, it's like, no, I don't, who's your presenter?
Yeah.
Does he have more experience than me?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, experience is not the tell-all, right? I mean, I can run across an Isaiah Syverson. I can learn plenty from you.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. Technology,
Yeah.
us old guys, you know, we're not, I mean, I see the memes where it says, you know, if you're over 40 and still using AI like Google, it's like, guilty. I mean, you know, I'm just starting to piece together a business plan for Design HQ using AI.
You're doing better than me. I still have the hardest time trying to figure out how to use AI to benefit like me and my business and my platforms, and so I'm right there in the same boat with you. You know.
Well, you're not going to help me then.
No. I can help you on a lot of things, but not that
one. but that's the thing. You've got to look at all the aspects, and I think that is there times I could have a little better bedside manner? Yeah, of course. But I'm also a firm believer in you get the version of me you deserve.
Yep.
So if you're you and you are polite and you're thoughtful and I know you're sincere and you ask me a question, I think it's a dumb question, I'm probably not going to light you up just because it's you.
Yep.
Now the next guy that walks in that I don't have any respect for because he doesn't have any respect for me.
Yes.
That's where it comes from. I will respond in kind.
Yep.
So when he asks me a dumb question, he's going to know it's dumb. And he's not going to like it.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing that I think we can talk about is I'm a big one where I'll treat the janitor the same as the CEO. Because again, it comes back to we're all humans. Just because you have a title doesn't make you better than me.
Right. And
I'm a big one of respect for respect. As soon as I meet someone, I automatically give them respect. But as soon as I pick up, and you don't have to say anything, body language tells for 80% of what a human being is like thinking. Mm-hmm. And it's nonverbal cues, right? And if I pick up on those, I will lose respect for you, and it's going to then I'll mirror how you treat me.
Right.
I'm a big mirror guy on that, where it's like I'll give you respect, I'll treat you, but as soon as you disrespect me, and that's a big thing that I think people need to learn more of, is don't let people walk over you.
Right.
Just because they're family, friends, coaches, mentors, if they're disrespecting you, you don't have to show them respect just because they're older or they have a superior position, in air quotes.
Right.
And that's why I never did good at my jobs, was because I was always up front when I would start my jobs. I said, hey, just so you know, I'm one where if you show me respect, I'll show you respect. But if you don't respect me, I'm not going to show you respect.
Right.
Like, I will still, like, you have authority over me in a sense. I'll still do my job, but I'm not going to respect you in the slightest. And that's always cause for some clash in the workplace. Yeah. And I'm like, but I told you guys ahead of time.
Right.
And people really need to get that where if you want to start a business or if you want to go on your own or you want to do something, you have to be able to just cut your losses.
Right.
Whether it's friends or, and recently it's been, things are going, it's been a lot hard. Like I've had it and there's been some instances where I've had to just cut it off and it just, it doesn't get easier, you know?
And the thing I think a lot of people lose sight of is you don't pick your relatives, right? Nope. You had no choice in that, right? So whether you like them or don't, whether you're like-minded or you're not, whether you can get along or you can't, that was predetermined, right? And how much effort do you want to put into it to put up with a jerk because he's your brother-in-law or because he's your dad? I mean, whatever. You know, there's plenty of situations where that is, where that's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, friends.
Yes.
Okay, so with that analogy, well, your friends, once you pick your friends, you should be good, right? Well, you pick friends in different situations.
And different stages in your life. You outgrow them.
Right. And, I mean, well, but even situations. So I have a good friend of mine that, I met in college. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, as far as a drinking buddy at 18 or 19, 20 years old, top notch. Right? Top notch, right?
Yeah.
None better. Now, I'm 54, and he's still one of the best drinking buddies out there.
Yep.
But not much else.
Yep.
And we don't talk much.
Yeah.
We talk when we run into each other.
Yep.
But I don't ever reach out. He doesn't reach out to me. Mm-hmm. We have completely different interests.
Yeah.
I mean, he's paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by.
Yep.
And you look at Facebook posts. Now, I'm not one for New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. First off, I think if you can't handle it on October 20th, January 1st is just another day, right? So if you can't swing it a random day of the year, wait until January.
Why is this different?
Not going to help. So I'm a firm believer in that. But I did do one New Year's resolution a few years ago, and it was that and of course my New Year's resolutions come to me about December 30th. So it's not like I wait a long time, to make it fly. Mm-hmm. But it's like all these friends of mine that when you're on Facebook, it's poor me.
The victim mindset.
Oh my God. And the whole FML and this and that, and
or there's, in my age, it's always, there used to be a thing, logging off for like the week or whatever. You don't, real ones know if you need me, you have my number. It's like, dude, how old are we now?
Right.
Come on.
Oh yeah. It's like, what a terrible day, ... And it's like, and then you get all these lemmings that jump into the comments. What's
Sympathy
wrong?
comments.
Oh, what's going on? I'll call you. I'll,
message me, reach out if you need it.
Yeah, right. And I'm just like, they need it. but they need so much more.
Yeah.
Your sympathetic ear, and then you telling them how terrible your day was, because that's what's going to happen, because you're cut from the same cloth.
Yep.
It's not going to help. My New Year's resolution was delete, delete, delete.
Yep.
And it's just, I just don't need that.
No.
I mean, so I talk about politics a lot, and I probably shouldn't, but I do follow politics. So if you go through my Facebook feed, I have all kinds of Democratic, even to the borderline of liberal. I have Republican, borderline conservative, like right wing. I follow both sides because I want to know what's. And I hate the algorithms that if you're a conservative and you follow, Charlie Kirk, then all of a sudden all you see is that like-minded thing, and it makes you feel like you're king of the world because no one thinks any different than you.
Yes.
And that is so toxic.
100%.
So you've got to follow. If I didn't like Charlie Kirk, but I'm still going to follow him, and I'm going to follow Turning Point because I want to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
And whether I love him or hate him, loved him or hated him, I guess in past tense. But you follow, and then you follow the opposite. You do the same thing.
Yes.
And people they want that comfort zone, all
reassurance.
the time. Yeah. And I don't understand that. Now, it's funny when you talk about the janitor.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen this yet because we just recorded it 3 days ago and it's not up yet. But episode 42 is Marty McQuiston.
I love Marty.
You know Marty?
Yep. Yep.
And so he's Focal Point Business Consulting or Coaching.
Yep.
Is his business. And one of the things we talked about, and I again, watch the other podcast, you'll hear the whole thing, but just to validate your point, I said, when I'm working with like a new vendor, let's say you came to me and said, hey, I want to sell you this. I want to work with you on this. I want to partner with you on this. I like to do it over lunch.
Yep.
I like to have those conversations, at least the initial meeting.
Yep.
Because if we don't get along or it's not really working out, we can still have a meal. We can talk about other things so we can be done. But the most important part is when that server comes to the table.
Yes.
How do you treat that server?
100%.
Right? And because and my comment to Marty was, and he and I had spurred, and with Jordan Carrillo was here too, the three of us having that podcast, we had a really good dialogue on if you think your job is that much more important than his or hers. It's like if you can sit there and be rude to them or dismiss them, or when they come to the table and we're having a conversation, they don't walk by and look to see if they're going to interrupt you. They have a job to do, and they've got 12 other tables to deal with, and other hungry people that want their waters refilled, and they want another Diet Pepsi, whatever. When they stop at the table, nothing we're talking about is that important. If it was, we wouldn't be at a diner.
Yeah.
Right? We wouldn't be at Perkins or whatever.
Yeah.
When she comes to the table or he comes to the table, give them your attention.
Yes.
They've got a job to do, and they've got people waiting for them to do their job, and their livelihood. If they're doing it right, their pay that they're getting by the hour is a third of their income.
Yeah.
The other 2/3 are their tips, and if we stall them out and make them wait for us to finish a sentence or finish a thought, that's a tip that we could be cutting them off of from someone else.
Yes.
And so don't think you're any more important. I don't care what you do. Does what you do generate more income than what they do? Sure. Maybe that's true. Does that mean you're more important than them?
No.
Not even close.
No.
It makes no difference. Because I'll tell you what, the guy over there with his sandwich, and he's half done with a sandwich, and his Diet Pepsi's dry. Pretty important part to him right there at that moment. Yeah. And she's the one, or he, your server. Yeah. That's the one keeping.
You're hungry.
Right.
They're the ones serving you. You know what I mean? And that's my biggest thing is there's like people see like this hierarchy, and at the end of the day, you could just as well be where they're at. Or we've all started somewhere, and servers make really good money. They can make really good money, and well, that's a great thing too. Like when you say like about business meetings, even like first dates, right? Yeah. I'm single, but I'll be like, hey, let's go like to lunch or like to like a breakfast. Because I want to see how they treat the server, because that is going to give me a great judge of character, and I'm going to predetermine, this isn't going to work out. Yeah, right. And it's just things like that or even it's a simple fact of like, if someone like, when they come up to you, how do you interact with majority of the people, right? Like, we go back to like the Facebook and like these keyboard warriors. Right. And if they're like that over like... over social media, they're just as miserable in person. Right. And it's things like that where it's like, how does putting someone down make you feel better about yourself? Like, to me, that just, When you talk to your friends, we all have those friends that question
every success,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They question every success.
Yeah.
Now, I can be that way. I can. I can be that way. Not because I want to see you fail,
Yeah.
but because I'm always looking for the pinnacle.
Yeah.
I don't want to win or lose.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
I don't even really want to win.
Yeah.
I want to win huge.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to barely squeak by.
Yeah.
I want to win huge.
Yeah.
I literally want. I want it all.
Yeah.
Now, not being greedy, but I'm saying if I go for something, you focus on it.
I want all of it.
I'm not going to settle.
No.
So when I see you have a win, I sometimes get caught in a rut where I see the win and I congratulate on the win.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but
Right,
right, it's like, but couldn't this have been bigger?
Yeah.
Couldn't this have been more of a win? Couldn't this have come faster?
Yeah.
Couldn't this have, couldn't this win a little to the left so that it led into another
Yeah.
win, not just a dead end?
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to look ahead
Yep.
like that, and sometimes that does come across as, be happy for me.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
turned out well. Be
Just
happy
be happy
for me.
and I know for me, like, I struggle with it a lot. Like, growing up, I was always grown up to be a high achiever, right? So these milestones that I see of starting my business, doing all these different things, the growth that I've had within a year of starting my business and the social media presence has been huge. It's
Yeah.
insane, the growth. And for me, I don't look at it as like, oh, it's an accomplishment or like, good job, or celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
Because to me, I look at it as like, that's expected of me. I know what I'm capable of. So like, oh, of course. But then like when you talk to other people, it's like, oh, that's a really good job. And so I think that's a big thing is taking the time to step back and really look back and be like we talked in the other podcast, looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
That's a very big thing is looking back where you came from and being like, wow, appreciating how far you've come and everything you've overcome.
Yep.
And I still struggle with that a lot of, what's the next thing, I'm never celebrating my successes. And I've noticed that when I don't do that, I get in a lull because I'm like, this isn't the next big thing or this isn't that. And
Well, you feel like you're always climbing and never reaching the pinnacle.
that's where I'm at. Yeah.
And you do have to celebrate the wins.
Yes.
You do. You have to take the time, but on the same token, it's like I got out of bed this morning. Yay me. It's like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
This is getting a routine. I started going to the gym 14
You've been
weeks
consistent
ago,
with that too.
Right? Every day. I
5
go
a.m.
every day.
I've been seeing
right?
your Facebook post.
Yep.
Cold. Oh my, good for you.
Yeah, it's like, but at the end of the day, I'm terrified
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point now where I'm terrified to miss a day. And I know that sounds weak or crazy, but if I miss a day, if I'm sick, whatever, miss a day.
Yeah.
Okay, I can handle that.
Yeah.
It wears on me. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm just like, I feel good. I could do something.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, I could do something,
Yeah.
right? And because if I don't feel any better tomorrow, and I'm an old man. It's when I get sick, I potentially could be down for a few days.
Yeah.
It's like, but when you miss that second day, that's the start of a new habit.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
You can say, well, I'll get back to it. That's the start of it. I went on vacation. Now I went to Mexico for almost 2 weeks.
Yep.
And the resort we were at had a fantastic gym. I was in it every day.
Good for you.
Every day. We were on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
Now, 4 years ago, I had a hip replaced.
Yep.
Last December, so a little over a year ago now, 13 months ago, I had the other one replaced.
Yep.
So the last 4 years have been tough.
Yeah.
Because when you need a hip replacement, at
It's-
24, I realize you don't know this yet, but I'm telling you, I mean, a set of stairs is intimidating. And it's excruciating to think that's the only way. So you elevator, right? You
Yeah.
escalator, you
Yep.
elevator. And so the last 4 years, you've got that year or two before the hip replacement where life's miserable. Then you've got the couple 3 months after it where you're recovering.
Yep.
And then you kind of get to that point where you're nervous to use it.
Yes.
And that's where I was. And I'm not
Yes.
saying everybody has that mental, blockade, but I did.
Yep.
And when we were in Mexico, this was just over Thanksgiving, so it was 2 months ago, and we were on the 5th floor. There was a couple times at the end of the night where, everybody's together and we just jump on the elevator.
Yeah.
But for literally 12 days, I took the stairs. I mean, 2 or 3 or 4 times a day
Yeah.
to the 5th floor
Yep.
and back down. And it's like, and to me, that is something where it's like, this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
That's an accomplishment.
Well, it is, because it's been years
Yes.
since I would even think about 5 flights.
Yeah.
I mean, it would literally just mentally break you, because
Yes.
you're just like, I should be able to do this. I can't be that out of shape, am I?
Yeah.
And and you have and it's a disability at that point, at least
Yeah.
temporary, until
Yep.
it gets fixed.
100%.
Thank goodness it's fixable.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
but yeah, those are the kinds of things. And so even something like that, you've got to look at it going, I'm not going to pat myself on the back because I chose to take the stairs that week or that 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What I pat myself on the back is I've put myself in a situation to get better.
Yes. To grow.
To grow, to fix this. And
Yes.
now I'm able to do that. And I'm able to think about doing it without grimacing.
Yes.
Without
Yes.
just, and because let's face it, when you take the elevator because you feel like you have to,
Yeah.
that ruins your day.
Yeah.
And there's a flight of stairs everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Metaphorically and realistically,
Yeah.
there is a flight of stairs
It's even
everywhere
like
you go.
the airports, right? Not really a flight of stairs, but you've got the 2 lanes. You've got the flat escalator that you
Yep.
can, or you can walk.
Yeah.
And for me, as much as I can, I always choose to walk.
Right.
And I think it's also that's something that like we take for granted a lot too. Is
Till you
it's-
can't do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's those little things that we take for. It's like your thumb. We take our thumb for granted all the time, but it's gone.
Right.
I can't.
I tease my dog all the time. We'll be sitting in the living room
Yeah.
or whatever, and I'm just like, man, if you had thumbs, I'd have you get me a beer. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
But you're right. It's those little things that most people don't think about. And I'll when we have somebody new in the house and you say just say dumb things like
Yeah.
that just to get a giggle or
Yeah.
and talking to my dog's like one of my kids. You
Yeah.
know. And you say something like that, and it's funny because I'll have people they'll laugh and they'll go, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, it kind of does, doesn't it?
yeah,
It kind of does. So yeah, you kind of joke about it, but it's you've got to keep life light, but you have to celebrate those little victories too.
You have to. Otherwise, it's just gonna be you'll be miserable.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's gonna be really like I know that's where I kind of had a lull. Of it's just I was doing all these things and you get burnt out that way too.
Oh yeah.
You just keep going and not appreciating and you don't slow down to look back. You get burnt out.
So that depends on your personality.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna say I don't, and not that I'm bragging about that.
Yep.
It's more of a problem. I think if you get burnt out, you have to address it.
Yep.
If you don't get burnt out, you look at everybody else around you going, pick up the pace, kid.
Yeah.
Get going. What are you doing? And when someone else is celebrating their win,
Yeah.
to get a little wind back in their sails,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I'm just and when you're that guy that doesn't get burnt out,
Yeah.
then you're like, dude, pat yourself on the back on your own time. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Yeah.
we got shit to do. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And that's where I think empathy really comes in, is that you can, because not everyone does get burnt out. Like I'm one to admit where I do get burnt out. I can too, but that's after it's just months of rigorous. Nonstop go, but it's one of those ones where, say like someone's going through something that like I don't completely understand, or I'm just like, oh, like for me it's little, right? Like I don't think it's big, but to them, it's this whole thing. And so being empathetic, even though like it's not your cup of tea, so to say,
right.
Being empathetic goes a long way, and it goes back to just treating each other like humans.
Right.
That just because they have a different mindset and they get burnt out and like you don't, you can still be empathetic and be like, oh,
right.
Hey, and it goes back to that human connection.
Right. But like say when you're in my situation, you have to think about that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I am the guy that's just like, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Big deal. Let's go. Let's next. It's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yep.
And it's like that's not the way to treat people.
No.
It's just not.
No.
But it took me a long time to figure that out.
Yeah.
To really realize that I was that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. The hard part was when I was younger, you kind of work in corporate America before I owned my own businesses.
Yeah.
And
isn't that how it all starts?
Well,
Corporate America,
well, it
the
is.
business
And I mean,
ownership. Yeah.
and you're, and being that guy, what have you done for me lately? It gets results.
In the corporate world,
in
all
the
the
corporate
time.
world,
100%.
it gets results.
Yes.
Now, you're literally kicking people in the head, but it gets results. So then what do? You get rewarded.
Yep.
Well, when you're training a dog, how do you train your dog? You reward them, right?
Yeah.
If you beat your dog, you can train your dog through beating them, but it's not nearly as effective,
No.
and it's horrible. I mean, let's not forget that part. It's awful.
Horrendous. Beating like any type of abuse like that is just hurt. It's not
Right.
going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's
Now,
fear.
Wait, will it work? Well, you can train that
Long
way.
term.
Right.
Or short term.
But
Short
short
term.
term,
No, I
right.
meant short term, yeah.
Short term, you might get the result you want.
Yeah.
But in corporate America, they don't care about long term for the most
You're
part.
fired.
You just
quit.
don't see people playing the long game. They're worried about today.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, when you have that mentality, it was very effective.
Yes.
Again, for short, because I didn't need result. Nobody was going to give me credit for what happens next year.
No.
They're going to give me credit for what happened 8 minutes ago.
Yes.
And now when it gets to be 15 minutes ago, it almost doesn't matter anymore. It's
Yes.
like, so
Yes.
it's right now.
When I was in construction sales, the first company I worked with, when I did, it was all door-to-door cold calling like I talked about, and
Yep.
I did like the 1.6 million in sales. It was no matter how good I did, they expected, so we did the entire process beginning to end, and they expected 5 contracts a week, collecting $20,000 in cash, 3 color meetings, and 100 doors knocked in a day. So about 1,000 a week.
Right.
They wanted all of that to meet your quota. And you could get 5 contracts, bring in 30 grand cash, 2 colors meetings, but you only knocked 50 doors. They've got an issue.
Right.
Why aren't you doing this better? Why aren't you doing this? And for me, there would be days where I'd have 10 contracts in a week. I'm a bit low on collecting cash, but I signed 10 potential contracts that are between 20 to 40 grand that are probably going to go through. And it was never good enough. No matter what I did, it was never good enough. Or if I was behind a week, where like I did really good one week, but I kind of fell short the next week. Hey, Isaiah, we've got to look and we've got to reevaluate how we can do this. What can we do to get our numbers up and meet quota and goals? And it got results. Don't get me wrong. I'm working 70 hours a week,
Right.
sun up to sundown, staying at the office at 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
But I left,
Right,
after I
right,
didn't get
but you're not there anymore.
I'm not there
Yeah.
anymore. And that's a big thing is you're right. It does get results, but it's not long term.
Right. Right. And when you start putting putting all the pieces together,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you start getting that puzzle, all the pieces together. You start seeing the picture in the background. It's like, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I mean, this is a whole different,
Yeah.
this is a whole different picture.
Yeah.
And that's, and to me, I relate it to just that. If you're putting together a puzzle and you've got the box, you're looking at this picture.
Yeah.
But the pieces just don't fit.
Yeah.
So then you quit looking at the picture and just get the pieces to fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different picture. It's the
Yes.
wrong. It's the wrong puzzle in the box.
Yes.
But you can still put it together.
100%.
And that is what it's like to me working for someone when you are an entrepreneur.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you feel like you feel like you've got all the information, right? All the pieces are there.
You're limited.
But you just can't make it work.
Yeah.
And not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur.
No.
Again, that's why I said in the beginning, it wasn't that when I say I don't care if you're on the fence about starting a business, you watch our podcast,
Yeah.
you talk to people, you Google, whatever
Yeah.
you do, and you decide not to start the business. When I say I don't care if you decide to start it or not to start
Yeah.
it, it's not because I don't care about you. It's not because I don't care that you're happy. It's quite the opposite.
Yes.
Not everyone is wired to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So you're here at my house,
Yep.
right? We're in our podcast studio.
Yeah.
If all you're thinking about while we're talking about this, you're trying to do this podcast,
Yeah.
this interview and the podcast, and all you can think about is, did I lock my front door? Did I shut my stove off?
Yeah.
If those little details of life are driving you crazy right now and you can't have a conversation with
Yeah.
me, you don't need to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you can't keep things straight in
Yeah.
in your household,
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur is going to kill you.
I was actually thinking of a quote. It was a shower thought I had. And I don't know if it's ever been said, but I was thinking about it. And I really like it because it's anyone can be an entrepreneur, but being an entrepreneur isn't for everyone.
Right.
If you want to be an entrepreneur, anyone can do it. But it's not for everyone.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's one of those things that I really like that quote a lot. I don't know. Someone can fact check me, but I don't think it's been said before. I'm copywriting it. No. But I was thinking about that, and I was like, it's a really good saying.
It is.
It's
absolutely.
true.
Well, I mean, it's like anything. I mean, so you had a job.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like the way they treated you.
Yep.
So now, did you hate the job?
No.
Probably not.
I loved helping people. I loved what I did. I just didn't like the company.
So now, the question is, okay, let's 10 years from now,
Yep.
when Isaiah Syverson has a string of 38 employees,
Yeah.
and you've got a string of these businesses,
Yeah.
your lights are all by themselves, and
Yep.
all these things, and you're
Yeah.
you look back and go, I didn't dislike my sales job.
Yeah.
What if I'd had a good boss?
Yeah.
would I be where I am today?
What if? Yeah.
What if? I mean, seriously, that,
Yeah.
not that I want to fill your life with what ifs, but when you look at that successful entrepreneur and he had a job he liked, but he had a boss he didn't. He had a
Yes.
company that didn't
Yeah.
foster a good relationship with him and build him. What if he had a good job? I mean, how many people out there like their job
Yep.
and work for a good company?
Yes.
Have a good boss.
I have a friend actually.
Are they stuck? I mean,
That's a
what I
great
mean?
question. I have a friend that I train jujitsu with. His name's Jay. He's gonna hate me if he hears this. I think he's like 53. But he works for, I think it's called Harbinger. They're a giant electric vehicle, and he's really high up there for like he controls the sales for the United States. And we were talking when I came back from California, we were on the same plane. So we went home, we were talking, and he was saying that this company, he loves what he does. The company takes care of him, and he makes a good amount of money.
Sure.
And I would say that he has the freedom that he wants. He's not an entrepreneur. He doesn't own his own business.
Right.
But the company takes care of him enough and cares about him enough that he's making good money on par with what you could be as an entrepreneur.
Sure.
And I think it really it depends on the person. I think it's what you make of it, really. Because, like, I would say some people, yeah, they are. But others, I would say no. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's what you make of it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But on the same token, if he's that guy,
Yeah.
what's he capable of?
Yes. And then if he were to go on his own, what can you... And that's always the thing is no matter how good you are at a corporate job, you will be 5 to 10 times better doing your own thing.
Well,
majority of the time.
And let's remember, when you're in a corporate job, you are replaceable.
Always.
I mean, you're
a
replaceable
number.
this afternoon.
It's like the B movie.
Right. It is.
The B movie is a perfect example of corporate America.
Yep. It is. But I mean, you're not only replaceable, you're replaceable today.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my question. Like when you look at anyone who's had any success, and you go back, and I mean, when I owned my gun shop, we sold that recently, but that gun shop started because of a bad experience I had at a local gun shop.
Yeah.
One right in Rochester.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love telling the story. I won't tell it in a podcast. I'm not here to bash anybody.
Yeah.
But I love the story because it's real.
Yes.
And I walked out just frustrated. And of course, entrepreneurial mindset.
Yep.
I'm like, this would have taken zero effort
Yeah.
to do better.
Yes.
Zero effort. Zero extra effort, I should say.
Yeah.
It takes effort to do it right,
Yeah.
but it takes effort to do it wrong.
Yeah, and it takes twice as much effort to fix your wrongdoing.
Right. But like them, they had no interest in fixing it.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to put any extra effort in. They were just okay with me. Again, like I hear Heather's voice. They're not coming back, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, not only did I not come back, I started another company.
Yes.
And I competed with them, and I took business away from them.
Yeah.
And I made a living taking business away from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, wouldn't it be easier to just be good to me?
Yeah.
And I was standing there with money in hand, ready to buy things.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't give me the time of day.
Yes.
And it's like, you don't understand. You don't know who you're doing that to.
Same reason, like I started my business, right? I've had these horrible experiences with the companies. I didn't like the way they treated their employees, their customers. And so, again, that entrepreneurial mindset, I got fired. But that's besides the point, okay?
That's awesome.
But I'm not going to sit here and lie. I don't lie. But I got fired. That's not the point. But it was, I can do this better.
Yeah.
And like before I did get fired, I was already planning on starting my own business on, okay, it's like how I grew up. I didn't have people I wanted to be like. I had people that I wanted to be different than. I knew what not to be.
Right.
And the same goes for starting my business.
That's just as important of a lesson.
Yes.
What not to do.
Yes.
I mean,
I think that I would rather have what not to do than what to do. Mm-hmm. Because I prefer that.
Nobody wants to be a carbon copy.
No.
I mean, nobody.
No.
You want to forge your own way.
Yes.
And to do that, and I think too, when you work in a bad situation, it gives you an opportunity to recognize a bad situation.
Yes. 100%.
And I've said this 100. Okay, you are an entrepreneur.
Yep.
When you have an idea, you do it, you try it, you execute it, and it works. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the greatest feelings as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I'll tell you, and again, this is me. I talked about who I am earlier, how I can be kind of negative in a situation should be positive.
Yep.
When you get that win, first go out, what am I going to tell you? I'm like, you didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yep.
You know, if you get, I mean, because are you like rocket scientist smart? Probably not. And I don't mean, you know, and I mean any of us. I'm not talking about you personally.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just saying,
I get it. Yeah.
whoever I'm talking to, I can
Yeah.
say, unless you're talking to Elon Musk, you probably got some gaps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In your knowledge and your experience. And just like I do, everybody does. But so when you do hit it perfect, there's a little bit of luck involved.
Yeah.
Not to say you didn't prepare, you didn't research, you weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
Not to say that you probably did a great job, but there's also a little bit of luck involved. And when it works, it's great and it's an awesome feeling, but you didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
Now, failing sucks, but if you fail and then you go back and try it again tomorrow, do it the exact same way, and fail again. Okay, well, you probably are not cut out. You need a chaperone.
The definition
right?
of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Right, exactly. So when you're an entrepreneur, you have to learn from the mistakes.
100%.
It's being successful doesn't mean you don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
It means you don't make mistakes twice. Yeah. You don't make the same
mistakes twice. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the difference.
And I'll be honest, like I'm guilty. It's human nature. I've made the same mistakes twice, you know, because it's that good. Like, for me, I'm one, especially when it comes to people and relationships. Mm-hmm. I always grew up, we talked about, like, family, right? You don't choose your family who you're born with. And growing up in an abusive household, the number one thing that's used is the blood is thicker than water, right?
Yeah.
And what I find so funny about that is once I got older, the actual quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which is the family you choose can be stronger than the one you're born with, but it's, again, going back to you watch Turning Point, or the two different sides of a coin.
Yep.
You're doing a half truth, where the full thing, what is used to control and dictate you, isn't the full truth, you know, and it's knowing both sides.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I learned something in that.
Yeah. And so I just
it wasn't
think
AI, but
yeah. One day, let me
One
get
day.
there. And the other thing is, like, when we're talking about, like, corporate America being replaceable, not being treated fairly, and leaving, right? Like when you did your gun shop.
Yeah. And
I have this big thing where I will make the same mistake twice because I do want to see the good in people, and I'm like, oh, I'm big on second, third chances. I'm less and less on it, but it's one where if people aren't supporting you and they're not taking care of you, look at it where if this was your little brother or someone that you really care about and want to watch over, if someone treated them like that, like how you're being treated, what would you say to them? What would your advice be? Right. And if your advice is to leave, you got to cut your losses. Yep. Because you're not going to go anywhere. Like, for me, what if, like, I know someone who the job that I was at, they're still there. And the thing is what if I would have stayed and I didn't do this and I didn't have, because at the end of the day, it comes down to self-respect.
Right.
Do you have enough self-respect to not let people talk to you like that or not let people treat you like that? Because if you keep these people around you and you keep your circle, if you're the smartest one in your circle, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
100%. I never, like, we're all, like, we all have our own niches where we're smart. But overall, like, for me, if I kept the same friend group or if I kept my family around who had told me you're not going to be anything, this isn't going to be successful. Now that I'm doing good, hey, Isaiah, like, you want to come to family gatherings? I want to get, no. Where was this when I was there? And now I've surrounded myself with people that they are smarter than me when it comes to business, when it comes to property investment, when it comes to growing. And that's the people I love to be around because I learn so much. And your circle is so important. I love analogies, as you know.
Me too.
And the one, it's an apple, right? You can be this perfect apple, but then if you're surrounded by 5 rotten ones, over time, you're going to be rotten. And it's the same. You could be this great person, but if you surround yourself with 5 people who are known for being degenerate, whatever it is, just not good people are going to associate you with that, and you're eventually going to fall into those habits.
Right.
Because you need people to, like, lift you up. And I think my biggest thing that, like, I just want to relay to people is, as hard as it is, you're going to be better off just to cut that tie. If they're not supporting you and they're not wanting to be there, as hard as it is, have that self-respect and being like, I love you, I care about you, but from a distance.
Right.
I need to do this. I need to surround myself with people who want to see me succeed.
So I had a good friend of mine. She used to be a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
She was a business coach.
Okay.
And she was in another networking group.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to start SBR,
yep,
I called her. I offered her a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. And she just told me how important her connections were. She couldn't believe this abomination I was going to start because, why would I turncoat on the other organization? I'm like, well, it's not mine. It's not yours either.
Yeah.
It's just an organization. They're multinational. They're going to be fine, right?
They're not really for small business.
Yeah, they're really not. You know who I'm talking about. They're really not for small, but they've evolved past that.
That's why I joined SBR.
Right, and it's like I want to bring what that company used to stand for.
Yes.
I loved it. I was in it for 20 years.
Yeah.
I want to bring that back.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm there's no way that I'm going to talk to a multinational company that's bringing in $250 million a year and go,
Yeah.
okay, guys, you kind of screwed up. You need to here's my advice.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
You're a number.
Right. They're not going to listen to me. They don't care.
No.
So she gets all mad at me, and she's like, and she tells me how, well, the CEO of this person, that person, they're in my phone, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
right.
okay,
And
like,
that's
why do
what
I
I'm at. It's
care?
like, okay. And she goes, she said, and now keep in mind, I was friends with her for 15, 17 years, something
Yeah.
like that, a long time.
Yeah.
And she tells me, she goes, so to your Apple analogy, she says, if you have 5 millionaires as friends, you're going to be the sixth. If you have 5 homeless people as friends, you're probably going to be the sixth. And I'm like, and I kind of laughed. I was like, you've been using that same analogy for as long as I've known you, almost 20 years. I mean, decade and a half or better.
Yeah.
When are you going to quit being the sixth person? When are you going to quit being influenced by other people?
Yes.
I'm offering you a seat at the table. This table, this is the table of 5.
Yes. Yes.
We are the table of 5.
Yes.
If you want to be the table of 5, if you want to be the group of 5 looking for that sixth person to influence into your ways,
Yes.
this is your opportunity.
Yes.
We really haven't talked since then. That was really what she just didn't get, the fact that it's like for 20 years, 15, 17 years, you've been telling me that if you surround yourself with good people, you're going to be good. You're going to be wealthy. It's always about millionaires. So it shouldn't say good people. It's always millionaires.
Always money. Monetary value.
Right. Always money. And I said, you're still scratching by. I know this. I know you. You are still scratching by. It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
Well over a decade. You're still the sixth person trying to figure out what group to get into.
Yeah. But honestly, that's not someone you want at your table.
No, and really that for me, I was so thankful that she turned me down. And to be honest, I was absolutely devastated when I'm calling her with this great news.
Yeah.
We are going to start this. This is going to be great. I am excited. We've got this thing. We're going to be back to our root, back to the grassroots
It's
values.
your win. That's your milestone you want to celebrate.
It is, because it's like I'm going to take what this multinational, 100 is literally a 9-figure company.
Yeah.
We're talking $100 million or $250 million a year.
Yeah.
They're doing, and I said, we're going to go back to where they started, and we're going to do it right. Now, okay, if you're talking money, I guess they did it right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
They've got way more than I do.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about what we can do right for you, for Isaiah Syverson. You're a year into business. What can we do for you?
Yeah.
And you gave us credit earlier. SBR Group really helped you out and is helping you out. And I am that right there. I am so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. And I was so devastated because I really looked at her going, she's a mover and a shaker. She knows a lot of people. And there was no gratitude for the phone call, first off, to be thinking, because I could have seen, it's like, hey, I really appreciate you thinking of me. I've kind of forged my way, and I'm kind of deep in where I'm at. I really don't want to, I can't walk away from this.
But I'm proud of your accomplishment.
Right. But it wasn't. It was just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I can't believe, well, it wasn't that you're an idiot. You're a traitor, is what she was like, I can't believe you would do this to me.
Yeah.
What? I'm calling him. I'm offering you a seat at the table.
Yeah.
And to me, that's how I viewed it. She viewed it as, I'm turning my back on her, and I'm going to compete with her.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then of course my attitude gets involved because I'm a dick sometimes, and
We all can be.
My feelings,
I get told that about myself too.
My feelings get hurt just like anybody else.
Yeah,
you're
human.
And when she did that, I was just like, well, okay, I didn't really consider it competition because we're going to mop the floor with you. It's just, this isn't competition. This is you're on a sinking ship.
Yeah.
And of course you've got a group that had at the time 140, 150 some members in Rochester. They're down to under 50 now. Wow. And we're well over 100.
You guys have grown from even like when I started, the amount of growth that you guys have done has been exponential. It's insane.
And the more you get, if you're doing it right,
Yes.
if you have a good business plan, if you treat people right, the more you get, the faster you get more.
Yes.
So it is exponential growth. That's
Yes.
exactly how you. And that's the term, and that's where we're at.
Yes.
But we care about the little guy. Am I walking into Culver's saying, "Hey, this huge company. You're in how many states? You have how many restaurants? SBR is the ticket. We're going to help you expand your business."
Probably not.
We're not doing that.
No.
But the Isaiah Syversons of the world, right?
Yeah.
It's like, can I help you?
Yeah.
Yes. And can I help you? I can help you
Yeah.
a little bit. Sure. I'll help you with what I can. Can what we've built help you? Absolutely.
100%. And I think a lot of people, when it comes to people get very overwhelmed in starting their business or whatever they want to start, right? It doesn't have to be a business, something you're
Right.
passionate about.
Right.
And then it can go into your business, right? I think a lot of people get intimidated by this whole fact of the marketing, the networking, and it's, at the end of the day, it comes down to one word: exposure.
Yep.
That is what it is. Like
I would challenge you on that. I would challenge you on that a little bit, Isaiah. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Exposure for sure. My favorite word for that
Yeah.
is relationships.
I like that one too. Yes.
I know that's
Yep.
for me,
Yeah.
because I said it to you.
Yep.
I said, if you come in here, I'm Isaiah Syverson pressure washing, and that's all you talk about is pressure washing, and you don't
Yeah.
give anybody the time of day as a human being.
Yeah.
You just talk business.
Yeah.
This isn't probably for you.
But
But if you come in here and you get to know Jerry,
Yep.
and you get to know Marty, and you get to know Denise,
Yeah.
and you make friends, and you have handshakes and hellos, and you
Yes.
talk to people outside of the group, and you make relationships with the
Yes.
human beings, the business will come. And we'd had that exact conversation.
100%, and that makes sense. And for me, I just naturally, like, my natural thing is to make relationships.
Yep.
So for me, when I think of marketing and networking, relationships I don't think about because I automatically do it. So I'm
Sure.
like, for me, I'm going to make the relationships because I'm an impressionable guy. I'm
Yeah.
outgoing, I'm charismatic, I'm like, I care about people. So that just comes second nature.
Sure.
So for me, it's the exposure. So when I say, but you're right, it's relationship. That's
But
what it comes down
exposure is
to.
a huge part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
if nobody knows you're there, you can't get business.
You can make
So-
you can make the relationships, but if you don't have the exposure and you're not out there, like that's how, like, when I first started my business, I was going to all these different network. I was just throwing myself out there. I'm like, hey, my name's Isaiah Syverson. I just started. Give me business,
Right.
And really just putting myself out there and doing door-to-door sales. Kind of, I got a way where I was like, you kind of are forcing yourself, like at people's doors and whatnot. I tried not to do that.
Sure.
But that's what the corporate America pushes on you.
Full plaid jacket, bow tie, put your foot in the door.
Yeah,
Right?
you think of those salesmen, it's like that type.
Right.
And for me, I was like, oh, people aren't going to want me being like so out there. And I've actually gotten a lot of, I want to say, praise for being as young as I am and as being as go-getting and outgoing and as hungry as I am. And I looked and I was like, wow, that's actually rewarded in a sense. People actually, they respect that.
They do.
More so.
They should. If they don't. If they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to educate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I highly recommend SBRG.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And that means a ton to me. I mean, we've got so many good people in there. I'm really glad that we got it started, and I'll tell you, it was hurtful, the conversations that we had early on with this, at times, but like any good entrepreneur, you feel bad, right?
Yep.
Get over it.
Yep.
And use it as motivation.
Because you don't want that victim mindset, like we talked about. Like I've had similar experiences starting my business, like we talked about earlier, and I'll kind of recap it. But you said, like, you called your friend, you were excited with this news, and she just shut you down.
Oh,
it crushes you. Like, even if you don't show it on the phone, you're like, damn. And
I'm sure I showed it. I was just but here again, this goes back to what you said earlier. Don't surround yourself with people so that you're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I was so convinced that I had the world by the tail.
Yep.
I did not even consider her saying no an option.
Yeah.
I mean, I set myself up for failure.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. That was completely on me.
Yep.
Now, she didn't have to take it to that level
at all. No.
But now as things later unfolded, a bunch of actions that she did later unfolded, which you probably know about, but I don't want to get into that here. Yeah. And it did turn out to be a bit of a, I don't know if I want to say jealousy, but definitely fear.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely fear of loss. Like, oh, I gotta stuff this because I don't want to compete with him.
Yeah.
And then, and of course, and whether that's true or not, that's how I saw it.
Yep.
That's how I chose to
That's how
see
you
it.
felt. And
Because
that's valid.
because now that's real motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You're afraid to compete with me. I'm gonna show you why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you
yes.
why
I'm going to show
were-
you exactly
Yep,
why.
Yep. And if you weren't, you should have been.
Yes.
And then it just becomes personal.
Yes.
And it becomes a focal point. And now all the problems that come up, they're minor compared to
the
that.
big picture of what I want to get to.
Right. Now when these things come up going, oh, we need another few dollars for this. Oh, this is going to take an extra week. Oh, we don't have this. Oh, we don't have an expert in that area. Well, I'll find one.
Yeah.
I will overcome these obstacles
Yes.
because
I have a point to
made
prove.
right. Well, and I've made such a focal point of proving her wrong.
Yeah.
That it, to me, in my mind, regardless of reality, in my mind,
Yeah.
that problem was massive.
Yeah.
To make sure that I ensure success and not success. Don't win. Win frickin' huge.
Yes.
Right? So that is such a big goal.
Yeah.
That all these problems that come out that might kick you in the teeth.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, we'll deal with it.
We'll deal with it later, yeah.
And no problem. We got.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. You know.
And I 100% like I had similar instances like when I was starting my business. I had there's one side of my family I just don't talk to at all. But this other one that I did talk to for a little bit, I was so tired of being at all my jobs I was beat down. I was told I wasn't enough. Like the last company I was at, I brought in $600,000 in 6 months with a program that I built from scratch. They said I wasn't doing my job. I was awful at it. I didn't give me any credit. Just beat me down and demoted me to a secretary. I went from a manager of a program I started to a secretary. That's that's demoralizing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how can I do this better? What can I do to do my own business? And I remember I was so excited. I was doing the research and I had called my family, a few in particular, and I was like, hey, I'm going to start this. Like, I really want to do this. And it was okay, cool. Like, you think that's going to work? Like, do you think it's going to be, and
that passive aggressive.
And like whenever I would talk about
Minnesota style.
Yeah, Minnesota
Minnesota style.
Minnesota nice.
Yeah.
And,
Amen.
and so when I was sitting there, and I remember it really hit me because, God, I'm so bad with time, but it was June of 24. June of 24, we were in Iowa for a car show, and my friend Nick, one of my best friends, Nick, he had his like reserves, obviously, but he was still supportive, right? And I remember I was trying to talk to my family about it. And I was like, hey guys, like I have this plan. Like I don't write my plans out. I've got them all up here.
Yep.
That's how I do it. And I was telling them about it and it was just dismissive. Like, oh, I remember my dad being like, oh, I own my own business. I don't like it. You're not going to enjoy it. And then like when I try to bring it up, like, yeah, I spent $30,000 on my equipment. That's an investment. And like I can get having reserves, obviously, right? Like that's like you can have your reserves, but don't shut it down.
Right.
And I remember saying, are you sure it's going to be worth spending $30,000? What if you fail? What if you this? What if you don't be successful? And for me, it's like, what if I do? I've got this plan, and if I do this right. But that really hurt to hear because I was so happy and so proud of something that now that they're doubting me, and they always looked at me like, what is it, 26 now? Like 6-7 years ago, I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. Like I was a degenerate for sure. You know, I'm open about it. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol and I wasn't going anywhere. I've been on my own since I was 17. I was kicked out of the house. I had no one there for me. So I got acclimated with who I thought cared for me, right?
Sure.
And instead of checking on me saying, hey Isaiah, are you okay? Do you need anything? It was, you're a low life. You're a loser. You're not going anywhere. Just talking about me behind my back, talking about me in different rooms where I could hear them whisper. And then when I try to change, they're not there, right? Like they still don't see who I am. And that lit, like you said, that lit a fire. Now it's personal.
Right.
I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to become everything you said I couldn't and wouldn't be. And you're going to watch. It's not going to be, oh, you know Isaiah. No, I used to know him. Yeah. And now I've noticed that I like to try to be very humble. I don't like to like talk highly about myself too much. But with the growth that I've done in a year and the exposure and relationships I've made, I feel I've done really well on.
Sure.
And now all of a sudden that like they're seeing me, like I was on Midwest Access on the news and I've been on these podcasts and I've been getting a lot of traction. And now all of a sudden people reach out, they'll comment on the post, proud of you. Hey, let's get lunch. Oh, do you want to come to a family get together? And there was one recently, which for me, it was kind of like that aha moment, like why I do this. I haven't talked to them in a long time and they were down. my aunt and cousins and their significant others. And they were down like, oh, Isaiah, do you want to come? I was like, yeah, I'll come after my meeting. I actually dressed just like this. I pulled up in my car and I walked in and I was there for maybe an hour. And the whole reason I was there was they don't know who I am. They know who I was,
right?
But they don't know who I am. They don't know what I do really. They just see on social media. And so walking in there, being able to be this new person, this evolved version of myself, it was rewarding because for me, I took that power back. Because anytime I was with them, they made me feel small
sure.
or they made me feel belittling. And so going in there and being like, you guys don't have that power over me. And them looking at me like, I want to get to know you was a great feeling.
Yeah. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah. And it was really like an aha moment. Like I felt really good. I called my other friend D'Angelo. I was like, dude, and he was like, oh, good job. But it sucks too. Like at the end of the day, like as awesome as those wins are, it is just as hard some days when you're like, damn, I don't have that support system,
right.
or damn, like I wish I had this, or I would, and
because that relationship will never, chances are, that relationship will never turn genuine.
No. And there was an instance, I remember, I went to a client's house, I knocked the door, and it was a mutual customer I'd known forever, and I go, she didn't answer, so I left my business card, she's known me since I was a kid, come back, well, one of my family members was mowing the yard, and they called, and Mrs. Grimaldi is her name, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna have Isaiah come out, and because he stopped by to give a quote, and he's like, oh, I'll call. So I get the call, hey, she wants a quote done for her house. Cool, I'm on my way. I go get the quote. It was a decent size amount, right?
Sure.
It was about $3,000 to do it, and then I was talking to him, and it was, I thought he was interested. He's like, oh, like, so how much did it end up being? I was like, it was about $3,000, and then he goes, what's my cut? And I thought he was joking, right? I'm like, like how we joke. Right, like, just playing it off. A couple of weeks go by. I'm about to go to North Carolina. This was in this past summer, I think, like June, July. I was about to go to North Carolina, and I underestimated this job. Going back to one of these stories, it was Trex decking, but it was 15-year-old Trex decking. Like 20 years. It was one of the first ones installed in Rochester. Spotted everywhere, just horrendous. And I had never seen it before. When I go to clean it, it still looked dirty. But when it dried, it looked nice. But I was there all day. And then I did the concrete. And then so I called because I was like, I finished it and I was really happy with how it looked. I called and I said, hey, I finished it. When you go to mow there tomorrow, like, can you take a look at it? And I was really happy. First words out of the mouth are, oh, how much is it? Or how much was it? And I was like, oh, she only did about half of it. So it was like $1,500. And the next words out of his mouth were, what's my cut? And that broke me. And I was like, what do you mean, what's your cut? And he's like, well, I got you that job. And I was like, wait, what? No, you didn't. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to remember that. I'm like, remember what? You're not a salesman for me.
Yeah.
You're very close to me, like, as the support I should have. And now it's the entitlement of you're expected something. I have people in my circle who have given me a bunch of business, more than what that was. And they've never wanted anything except to see me succeed and better myself. But you, as my father, you're like, oh, hey, what's my cut? And then to say, oh, I'll remember that? What do you mean? I don't know how much he owns his own. I don't know how much business I've sent his way. And I've never expected that. And for me, it hurts because I just generally want to see people succeed and do good. I've never expected anything back. I just want to see you succeed. And then I hung up the phone. Because like I'm not doing this, and it was devastating. And then I texted, I sent $100. I said, here you go. You need it more than I do. Sent the 100. Oh, I don't want the 100. It was never about the money. I'm gonna send it back. And I said, no, just keep it. Since this relationship is strictly transactional, I will contact you if either one of us can make money. Like that's just how it is. And he's like, oh, all I would have needed was like a thank you, or I'm like, a thank you for what? I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give you some credit on being able to like talk me up a little bit. But again, you never supported my business when it started. You didn't think it was going to go anywhere. You thought I was not going to go anywhere. Never checked in on me. And now you expect money. Right. And it's the entitlement of expecting it. And so for me, I was like, that was my final straw. And that one, that hurt, because you're like, you're really excited. Like you said, you called your friend. You were so excited just to be shut down.
Yeah.
And that really hurt. And you juggle with that. Now you're like, what do I do from here? do I continue it, or do I have enough self-respect to
Right.
just, I've got it from a distance.
Right.
I've got to respect myself. And that, I think, is probably one of the most recent events that I would say was hard.
Yeah.
And because it's, you look up to someone, and everyone wants that praise, right? You know, you want that validation.
Right.
And then not getting it, and it really sucked. But I came out better on the other side. You know, it still stings here and there, but again, it doesn't affect me as much anymore because I surround myself with good people. People like you. We have these great talks, or people at SBRG, or my people at my Wildwood Wednesdays. The people that were there for me at my ribbon cutting for the Chamber of Commerce. Like, everyone that's been there for me, it hurts less because I have a good support group. You know what I mean? That, like, I talk about this, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, that's wrong, dude, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, like, that's not right. And having people pick me up and want to see me do good makes that hurt just a little less.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Having that right support group.
And you're doing it right, and you're going to have more good experiences going forward than bad.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. That is going to numb that.
Yes.
It will.
Yes.
It will.
And it's
You
starting
know?
to get, it gets easier now. Like, the more I do it, like, obviously it still hurts, but I get to the point now where I have a very low tolerance for, this is vulgar, but bullshit.
Yeah.
Very low tolerance,
Oh, yeah.
where, like, if you're, I have a schedule, I have things that I
Wait
want
till
to
you're
do.
my age.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine. I'm going to be on the porch, just get off, you know.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You know,
With the shotgun ready.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
my biggest thing is, like, as soon as, like, if someone wastes my time, or as soon as, like, they're giving me the runaround, no matter what it is, I automatically, without a second guess, remove.
Why? It's a respect thing.
It's respect.
It's a respect thing.
I respect myself. My time is valuable. You're not respecting my time, my effort, my energy. I can't have you around me. I need to
Yep.
surround myself. I have goals. I want to be somewhere. I need people with the same drive and ambition. I can't spend my mental energy worrying about, oh,
Yep.
why haven't they texted me? Oh, why aren't they? I don't care. I've got better things that I gotta. See, I just
See?
did it.
See?
Ha!
See?
But I got better things to do because,
Yeah.
again, it's that self-respect for myself. I refuse to be disrespected.
Yep. Yep. Good for you. Isaiah, we're at an hour and a half.
We are.
We should probably cut her loose.
Yeah.
Any last words?
I guess my biggest thing that I want to tell you guys is no matter what you go through, no matter what hand you are dealt, you do not have to be given everything to you to make something of yourself. You can start from nothing, and if you find the right people and you believe in yourself, you can go far. And again, if you guys need anything, or if you have questions, or you're just struggling, reach out to me. My Instagram is its_Zay, ZAY 0423. And I would love to help you guys in any way, whether it's starting your own business, your adventures, life, mental health, whatever it is. Please reach out, and I'd love to help you guys. And remember, you are worth it.
That's quite a message.
Yeah.
That's quite a message. Good for you, Isaiah. I'm proud to be your friend. I
Thank you.
really, it means a lot that we've been able to connect. I mean, because 24-54, that's a big swing.
It's a big swing.
A big swing.
Especially
you know?
from, like, when I first came on, I was so nervous. Like, I remember I was here, and I'm just...
Yeah,
I'm
you were
stiff
pretty
as
rigid.
I was
Yeah.
stiff as a board. I was rigid. I'm like, yeah, you know, and I'm like trying to think of all these things at the time. And now I'm like, we're more relaxed. We have
Yeah.
a good relationship. Like, I love having you as my friend, and like you've been really supportive, and that's what I like about you is you're a straight shooter. You know.
It's tough to take sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you do something that's not
Yeah.
anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard. But on the same token, I know that if I ask you a question, I want the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I get.
Yes.
And that's what I get. And that's, you know, so I love your empathy and your drive to be good to people.
Yeah.
That is so important in life. And it
I'm
transcends
trying
into
my
business.
best too. I appreciate that.
We're all gonna stumble.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
gonna stumble. But no, and seeing a 24-year-old. I hate to keep bringing up age, but
You're
seeing a
fine.
24-year-old.
I expect it in this line of industry. You know.
It
Yeah.
is. I mean, you're an oddity. I mean, you really
Yeah.
are in a good way. I mean, a
Yeah.
great way.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it. Is I like to absorb what you're putting off.
Yeah.
Because it's so contagious, and it
Yeah.
makes you want to do the right thing
Yeah.
all the time. And there are times where, like I said, I always have these people, friends of mine, you know, family, even
Yeah.
not friends of mine, that I can hear the voices going, making
Yeah.
a comment on a situation I'm
Yeah.
dealing with. And some of it's great. Like, I used to teach the Heather, it's,
Yeah.
you're not coming back, right?
Yeah, yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
kind of keep you on the straight and narrow a
Yeah.
little bit. And so, and I don't doubt that across the years here, you're going to turn into one of those voices
Yeah.
for me at some
Yeah.
point, for sure. But I'm really glad you took the time to come out today.
I appreciate you having me back. So I really
absolutely.
appreciate that. I love doing these. So it's so fun.
How about a co-host sometime?
I would love to co-host.
Okay.
And yes, 100%.
Okay, I'll put you on the list because I'm trying to expand that a bit. I just the other day I was talking to someone and I said she wants to, well, you know her, Denise, she wants to put something together for her workshop.
Yeah.
And I offered to help with this, use the podcast studio for it. And I said, I'm not trying to interject myself into your workshop.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to be there,
Yeah.
I said, we can set up with anybody. I'll just stay off scene.
Yeah.
I'll just do the mechanics. I'll
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
soundboard, things like that.
Yeah.
The technical piece of it that makes the studio work. And she just laughed. She goes, No, if we're doing this, I want you there.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was very cool. That really
Yeah.
made me feel good,
Yeah.
And I didn't mean it as I didn't think she wanted me, but I thought, I don't want to come across the guy that's like, well, you need me.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
You're just
gosh.
offering help. Because
Just-
you
yeah.
want to see, like we talked about, like you said earlier, you don't care if someone starts it or if they don't. But if they do and they are 10 toes down on it,
Right.
you want to help them succeed and make the best decisions for themselves.
Well, now it's not time to be wishy-washy. Once
Yes.
you've made that commitment, now it's like, all in, kid. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Like for me,
let's go.
pressure washing is my source of income.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's my sole source.
Right.
And like
So
the
now it's
pressure
not the
washing
time
and
to
lights,
be
no.
wishy-washy. And
No.
You're not in the fence anymore.
No.
So
I'm in the deep
don't
end.
act like it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. Awesome. You already kind of said that best ways to get a hold of you is the
Instagram and Facebook. If you guys want, also, our work number is 507-990-9251.
All right. Awesome. Isaiah, have a great night.
You too. Thank you, Jerry.